Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel for the first time. My name is Paul, the Canadian Snowman, here with some more geography now. And Macedonia, you're next. I'm sorry, every time I hear Macedonia, it just makes me want to yell it. I really don't know much about you except for I definitely heard you guys have a lot of history, right? I don't know. I don't know if it's the same Macedonia, but weren't you guys like Macedonia, like Alexander the Great? Or am I way off? You guys can let me know in the comments if I'm way off. But it just makes me want to yell at Macedonia. I don't know. It just sounds cool. Cool name and apparently really cool flag. So yeah, awesome. Other than that, I don't know. I don't really know much else. I'm sorry. But yeah, we're gonna learn. I'm gonna learn. Okay, chill, relax. Get mad at me. But anyways, yeah, we're gonna learn and do this. Macedonia. Definitely props. Well, I'm sorry, the Republic of North Macedonia. I better get this straight. Uh, Definitely a really cool name. She definitely got that going for you so far. But we're gonna find out what else there is about you. So let's do it. Before we do, please like and subscribe, guys. Please and thank you. I'd really, really appreciate it. And let's get to it. Eventually, my yes.
Most controversial video I've made since Armenia and Azerbaijan. As you know, we follow the alphabetical English list of countries in the UN. That being said, as the UN, EU, European Council, and NATO all give the same title for this country, this episode is going to go under F for former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia. However, I will refer to this.
I'm guilty of this. I was wondering this too, because I went Finland. This is actually before Finland, and the order has popped up, and I was like they just randomly just put it out of order or something. And so because the previous video said Finland was next, so I jumped to Finland, and after Finland it said this one was next. So I don't know. It's all messed up, and I guess he's giving me the explanation here. But don't shoot the messenger.
For former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia. However, I will refer to this country as the Republic of Macedonia, as over 130 countries call it that on their own terms, and because it's shorter and easier to say. Okay? Are we good?
Yes.
Cool?
Oh, man.
It's time to learn geography.
No! Hey everyone, I'm your host Barbie. For those of you who know nothing about this country or why I'm trying to take so many precautions, basically all you have to know is that in almost every aspect, this place is actually pretty plain, simple, and chill. It's just the name that starts all the drama. You might be wondering why. Well, we will explain in a bit, but first, let's talk about where it is.
Right.
So, the Republic of Macedonia. Am I good? I know you don't like it, but can you just at least maybe tolerate it if I just use that title for this video for abbreviated purposes? No problem. Please, just continue your lesson. Thank you. So, the Republic of Macedonia is kind of like a country that got mixed up, tossed around, flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a moment just sitting right here to tell you how this country became a place with such an affair. Oh, high five! First of all, the country is landlocked and located in the Balkan Peninsula of Southeast Europe, surrounded by Bulgaria, Greece, Albania, and depending on which side of this sovereignty debate you stand on, Kosovo and Serbia. Guys, it's the Balkans, Europe's most dysfunctional family. The country is divided into 9 regions, with the capital Skopje located in the north-central part of the country, where a quarter of the entire population lives. It's also the historical birthplace of Mother Teresa, and in the city square, it has a statue of Alexander the Great.
Yes!
Look, they immortalized Alexander the Great in their land.
Well, at least I was right about something. Alexander the Great, woo! And if this is a new video for you, I actually have done a series on Alexander the Great. I think it's 4 or 5 parts. So definitely check out that playlist if you're new to my channel, because that was a really cool series of Alexander the Great. Definitely check that out. Anyways, back to the video.
Look, they immortalized Alexander the Great in their land. Oh, and they named their airport after him, too. The country has only two main civilian airports, Skopje Alexander the Great International and Ohrid St. Paul the Apostle International by Lake Ohrid. Ohrid is a popular tourist and vacation spot, however the second and third largest cities are Bitola, Kumanovo in the northeast of Skopje. The E75 highway is the longest and busiest road that traverses the entire country north to south. Fun little side note, in the Republic of Macedonia, the sidewalks are actually used for both walking and parking. To this day, the legacy of the Ottoman times is well preserved in places like the Gazi Hajar Kadi Mosque in Bitola. Tetovo is kind of like the Albanian capital of the country.
I'm sorry. As far as the sidewalks go, do you guys ever get like mad at people for like? I know it's probably a normal thing. It's probably used to by now, but I don't know. Like other guys like, why do you have to park here? I don't know. It seems like I don't know something that you might get heated about, you know, when you're just trying to walk along and maybe someone just cuts in front of you and parks or something. I don't know. Who knew?
Gazi Hajar Kadi Mosque in Bitola. Tetovo is kind of like the Albanian capital of the country, as it has the highest Albanian population in the country, adorned with geometric and floral motifs all over. In the west, we reach the strange town / micronation of Vevchani, which declared itself its own republic and even has its own currency called the Linchnik. Now, if there's any structure that just straight up dominates the landscape, though, it would have to be monasteries, churches, fortresses, and mosques. I did 4 like this. That's weird.
Fortresses are cool.
This is how I made a 4. One's like St. John the Baptist Monastery, which supposedly has the forearm of St. John the Baptist, embellished with extremely intricate wood carvings in the interior. The Kale Fortress in Skopje and the Tsar Samuel Fortress in Ohrid stick out too. So those are some of the most notable sites, but you're probably still wondering, okay, that's nice, but what does any of this have to do with the country's controversial name? We'll explain that in a little bit in the demographics section, but first, let's slowly keep you distracted from the inevitable rage fest by telling you more about the pretty mountains and rivers and stuff.
300 for that in 2000 for this, way too expensive. But today I'm going to show you guys how to get all this stuff for a lot cheaper. Okay, so first go.
Alright, let's have one more round of plain objective fact reporting before the gray zone of doom comes up in the next section. In the simplest way I can put this, the country is about 80% mountainous and basically split in half by the longest river, the Vardar, that flows north to south and emptying in the Aegean Sea. On the west of the river, you have the Dinaric Alps with the tallest peak, Mount Korab, along the border of Albania. The general South Balkan region that the country lies on sits on the subduction zone between the European and African plates, cut right in the Mediterranean. Therefore, the Republic of Macedonia is subject to some earthquake activity every so often. The Republic of Macedonia is famous for 2 things, tobacco and opium. The opium here is the national treasure, which has disputably the highest quality in the world, with about 14 morphine units per specimen. Yeah, sorry, Afghanistan. Hang in there, though. You're doing good. The crop is mostly used for pharmaceuticals and transported all over Europe. There's also the Pesha Cave in Makedonski Brod, which is famous for looking like Helm's Deep in Lord of the Rings. Close by Skopje, you can't miss the Matka Valley with the canyons. Of course, the prize trophy of the country would have to be Lake Ohrid, one of the oldest and deepest lakes in Europe with over 200 different endemic species, including the Ohrid trout, which is one of the national animals. Some national dishes include meat pie and ivar relish made of crushed bell peppers and garlic, sometimes referred to as vegetable caviar, even though sometimes Serbians will say that they created it. And that's about it. Stay tuned. France is coming up next.
What? No.
Oh yeah.
No.
How did this country get...
I was like, no, you're not fooling me. No, I was like, I know, because I knew the video was 11 minutes. They're like, no, it wasn't 11 minutes. Nice try. But anyways, beautiful country, Macedonia. I love the fortresses and all the mosques and whatever. You know, whatever. Anyways, you got really cool looking buildings. I like the fortresses the best. And just beautiful countryside and everything, so that's awesome. Let's get to this.
Next. Oh yeah, how did this country get their whole name controversy dispute thing right? Oh boy, well, here comes the train wreck. I'll do my best. Transition. Oh boy, this is gonna be just dandy. No matter what I say in any angle in this section, someone is gonna disagree and throw sharp objects at me. But this is my job. This is the life I chose. Come on, Barbie, you can do this. Just, hey, we haven't done a Bob Saget joke in a while. Duh, I'm Bob Saget. I wear dad pants and I once sat on a pizza. Okay, first of all, the country has about 2 million people and was the only former Yugoslav republic to gain independence without any bloodshed. About 65% of the nation identifies as ethnically Macedonian, and a quarter are Albanians, and the rest are made up of groups like Turks, Romani, Serbs, and Bosniaks. The currency is also the Macedonian dinar. They use the CEF type outlets, and they drive on the right side of the road. Now let's begin begin the discussion. First of all, what exactly are some distinguishing traits of people that identify as Macedonian? Well, for starters, just like we explained in the Bulgaria episode, they have Slavic roots and speak a Slavic-based language that is very similar to Bulgarian. Most people in both countries can understand each other just fine, and many have relatives and family that live in each other's countries. The people of this country have been tossed around over and over again in the past millennia, and it wasn't until the Balkan Wars that things really got cracking. For those of you who don't know, the Balkan Wars basically just went like this. Oh no, we don't like the Ottomans. Let's fight them. Yeah. What the? We had an agreement. You screwed it all up. You're all dead. And that's about it. Essentially, the area that takes up the parameters of modern-day Republic of Macedonia were sort of the product of Yugoslavia after World War II. First, they were called Vardar Banovina, and then it became the Socialist Republic of Macedonia. To this day, Macedonians claim that they are descendants of Alexander the Great and the ancient Macedonians that were mixed in with the Slavic tribes that migrated into the area in the 6th century AD. Then in 1991, Yugoslavia broke up, and that was when the whole modern mess with Greece really heated up. I mean, it was already kind of heated before that, but this just made things a lot worse. To this day, Greece deliberately opposes the usage of the title Macedonia, as they claim the name is historically inseparable from Greek heritage, and they are the only ones that have the right to use the name, let alone the symbols. And shortly after they said that, the Republic of Macedonia started to use the symbols. Yeah, that didn't really help the conflict. One thing that both Greeks and Macedonians can agree on is that historically, there was a region called Macedonia that expanded under Alexander the Great all the way from the Balkans to India. Where they disagree on is who the Macedonians and Alexander the Great really were, which, I'm gonna try my best, kind of went like this. You guys are constructing a narrative and appropriating our heritage and symbols, and it all started with Tito. Macedonia is an inherently Greek title, and you guys are not Greek, let alone Hellenistic in any way. We never claimed to be Greek, and neither was Alexander the Great. He was ethnically Macedonian, which was a separate, distinct group apart from the Greeks, which mixed in with our Slavic forefathers after they arrived centuries later. Dude, the Macedonians were Greeks. They spoke Greek, they had the same culture, they worshipped the same gods, they spread the Greek language across the empire. Alexander the Great was taught by Aristotle. They were Greek. Yeah, he spoke Greek. He also spoke Persian and a ton of other languages. And if they were Greek, why would they go to war with a ton of other Greek cities so often? He spoke the original Macedonian language first and then promulgated the Greek culture as it was seen as advantageous. That's just a lie your leaders have told you to set a footing for future claims against Greek territory. Macedonia has been in the name of our North region for over 3,000 years, with real Greek Macedonians today living in that area. Yeah, that totally explains the actions of Ioannis Metaxas in 1913. I knew you would bring that up. Look, I know that was tragic and horrible, but it's completely irrelevant to the actual documented, archaeologically corroborated historical facts that you can't deny. Then clearly you need a history lesson. No, you do! You do! You do! So, guys, the Pirin region... Disclaimer, this is pretty much just what the governments and radical nationalists say. Most of the general Greek and Macedonian populations don't even really care too much about this issue. To this day, the UN, EU, European Council have all somewhat sided with Greece, agreeing to appoint the title Former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia. Many Greek and Macedonian politicians have said that they would maybe be willing to settle on a new compound country name that deliberately distinguishes the country apart from the word Macedonia. Some suggestions include Slavo-Macedonia, Upper Macedonia, or Northern Macedonia, but for now, the one that kind of unofficially stands at a somewhat not perfect but not too rage-inciting national title is the Republic of Macedonia. Whew. So anyway, Macedonians love wrestling and handball. Wrestler Saban Trstena being considered a national icon as he won a gold medal in 1984. The men's handball league made 4 appearances in the World Championships. Some notable Macedonians throughout history include poets Blaise Kaneski, Kol Nedeljkovski, painter Peter Manzev, pianist Simon Turpchevsky, Academy Award-nominated director Milcho Manchevsky.
This is for my fellow hunters!
Oh.
And of course, even though she was ethnically Albanian, Mother Teresa was born in Skopje. All right, I think it's time to move on. Let's jump into diplomacy. Well, as you can probably guess, the Republic of Macedonia is kind of surrounded by neighbors that all have some kind of issue with them. The general stereotype is that Serbia doesn't recognize their church, Bulgarians don't recognize their sovereignty, Albanians don't recognize the western border, and Greece, yeah, you can kind of already guess. However, it's the 21st century, and the millennial generation really doesn't care too much about their grandparents' drama. Borders are totally open, people travel back and forth between these countries, and trade is consistent as long as you got a good bottle of Balkan wine to share. Serbians are generally close, as their split from the Republic was the only one without bloodshed. Even though some political points are disputed, they're still cool. people. And Bulgaria is like the country where the Republic of Macedonia kind of sneaks into the EU through a loophole in the passport system, in which you can totally qualify if you have family in Bulgaria, which many Macedonians do. Turkey still gets along nicely with them, however, it's been favoring Albania and Kosovo a little bit more these days. They're best friends, however, and out of all the Macedonian geographers I asked, more or less, most of them agreed that Croatia and Bosnia and Herzegovina are probably their closest allies. These two countries all shared a deep history of being former Yugoslav republic states that go way back. Have you ever had friends that you made while you were all being punished for something at the same time? Yeah, that's kind of how it is with these guys. They've seen so much struggle and hardship together and still managed to smile back at each other the entire time.
It's like Breakfast Club.
Yeah, it's like Breakfast Club. In conclusion, just saying the word Macedonia incites a lot of opinions and frustrations with certain groups of people. And I'm not going to pretend like I have an answer to all this. The Balkans will always be indescribably complicated. It's just interesting how a simple name can cause so much uproar. Names matter. Let that be a lesson for you today. Restez à l'écoute. France sera le prochain.
Woo, France is next. But Macedonia! I don't know. I just think it sounds cool. But anyways, definitely a cool country. I was definitely confused as far as, I'm really confused. I guess I don't know why the Greeks just don't let them have that name and just a name. Don't really understand that, but it is what it is. Just let them have the name. That's a cool name. But yeah, definitely like beautiful country, and yeah, you guys got a lot of friends going on there, and yeah, you guys just got it going on. Alexander the Great. I mean, you don't really get much better than that, right? But anyways, please hit that like and subscribe button, guys. Continue on the series. Please check out Alexander the Great series. It's a great series on my playlist. But like I said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in future videos. Macedonia!